Hello, dear students. You are most welcome in my English YouTube channel, English Literature and Grammar class. Dear students, today we are going to enjoy the famous poem The Lotus Eaters. This poem was composed by Lord Alfred Lord Tennyson, who was also known as the Victorian poet, and he was born in 1809 and he became poet laureate in 1850. He led a long period of life of 82 years. He died in 1890, passed and buried in Westminster Abbey in England. Dear students, Tennyson was the national poet of England during 19th century, and he was a poet, elegist and dramatist. He wrote many literary works, such as when he read in Trinity College, he wrote a famous poem Timbuktu, for which he was awarded by the Chancellor Prize. And later he wrote The Lotus Eaters in 1832. It was published in 1832. Later, his first volume of poems were published in 1833. And he wrote many poems, Ulysses, Break, Break, Break. And in 1847, he wrote a long poem which title was The Prince. And then he wrote dramas, The Mary Queen and Herald. So in this way, he led a poetic life and he became the dominant poet of this era. The present poem, The Lotus Eaters, was based on the story of Ulysses' expeditions. Ulysses was a ancient Greek hero who was well described by Homer in his great epic Odyssey. Ulysses was the hero of Trojan War, which was fought for 10 years, and after having completed this war, that war, he was returning to his homeland Ithaca, as he was the king of Ithaca. So he and his companions were returning on the sea voyage, and the 9 days had gone, and in the way their ships were strayed and wandering a safe land. They were tired and hungry, so at last, on 10th day, they reached an unknown island named the Lotus Eaters. As soon as they saw this island from their ships, Ulysses assured his companions by addressing them courageous, brave companions, brave sailors. Is pointed toward the land. Pointing toward this island, Ulysses consoled his companions to be courageous because the land is near, and now it was the time for them to take rest on this land. And so he filled, he infused them hope. So this poem starts like this. This poem has two parts. Have two parts. Um, First part, the main poem, and the second part is also called as the choric song. So first part is consisted of five Spenserian stanzas, and the later part, choric song, comprises of eight long, uh, different length stanzas. So now we start. This is opening lines of the first stanza. He addresses his companions to be courageous, pointing toward the land of lotus eaters, because this land is near and they were about to reach on this land. So he tries to infuse he tries to infuse energy and hope in his companions. This mounting wave will roll us shoreward soon. He tells his companions, he assured his companions that this mounting, this mounting wave, the rising wave of the sea, will soon reach them, yeah, will help them to reach on the seashore. And in the afternoon, they came unto a land. And afternoon, and on the time of their landing was the afternoon, and on the time of afternoon, at the time of afternoon, they landed on this uh, Iceland, in which it seemed always afternoon, in which where they appeared, they saw the afternoon, and it was appeared them that the time of this land will always would always remain afternoon. So all round the coast the languid air did soon. Now poet describes the lazy and enchanting atmosphere of this land. So he describes like this: all round the coast, all round the seashore of this land, this lotus eaters land, the languid air did soon. There was blowing, the languid air means lazy air. Lazy air was blowing there, and it was so lazy that it could make any person faint, unconscious. So it is a dreamy air and lazy air, and it could make any person lazy and fainted. So breathing like one that has a very dream, and this lazy air making the sound like the breathing of a tired man who has slept and who is uh, seeing dreams, and during the dreams the sound of breathing comes generally comes to like the sound of dreamy man's weary and dreamy man. The such sound had been produced by, yeah, was being produced by lazy air. Full faced above the valley stood the moon. After having described the lazy air and fainted um, air, now he comes on the describe of a moon. Moon was shining in full arc, full paced, full form, full arched. The moon was shining full arched above the valley. Above the valley, moon was shining in its full arcs, and like a downward smoke, the slender stream along the cliff to fall and pause and fall seem. and like a downward smoke, the stream, the slender stream, a thin stream was also flowing there, and it was appearing just like the smoke was falling downward. So a thin stream was also blowing along the cliff, along the cliffs, a fall and pause and fall did seem. Like a downward smoke, the slender stream, a thin stream was falling along the cliffs, along the peaks, along the rocks of the mountains downward, and it was appeared just like sometime it was looking fall, and sometime pause, and sometime fall, and it stops and start and stop and start. It means stream was also sleepy, and it was flowing stop and stop and breaks in among breaks into breaks. So now I try to explain you in Hindi, dear students. This mounting wave in first line, this is the Spencerian stanza, and its first line, courage, he said. As यूलिसस अपने साथियों को, नाविकों को ये संबोधित करते हुए कहता है कि बहादुरों, करेजियस, उत्साह रखें, बहादुर सिपाहियों, अब हम इस ज़मीन के बिल्कुल पास में हैं, एंड दिस माउंटिंग वेव विल रोल अस, एंड दिस माउंटिंग वेव विल रोल अस सून, और एनी राइजिंग वेव ऑफ सी विल हेल्प देम टू रीच ऑन द सी शोर। कोई भी उठती हुई समुद्री लहर अब उनको शीघ्र ही सी शोर पर पहुंचा देगी। इन द आफ्टरनून दे केम अनटू ए लैंड, और वह आफ्टरनून दोपहर के बाद तीसरा पहर, जिस समय आप बिल्कुल ही लेज़ी इंसान आफ्टरनून के बाद, लंच के बाद इंसान अपने आप को बिल्कुल उनिंदा पाता है, ड्रोजी पाता है, स्लीपी पाता है, फील करता है। तो इस प्रकार से उस समय वह उस लैंड पर उतरते हैं, इन विच इट सीम्ड ऑलवेज आफ्टरनून, और वहाँ उतरने के बाद उनको ऐसा महसूस होता है कि मानो वहाँ हमेशा तीसरा पहर ही रहता हो। ऑल अराउंड द कोस्ट द लैंग्वेडियर डिड सून, ऑल अराउंड द सी कोस्ट, उस समुद्र तट पर, इस लोटस ईटर्स के समुद्र तट पर, लैंग्वेडियर, लेजी एयर, सुस्ती भरी हवा बह रही हैं, और वह हवा ऐसी सुस्त है कि वह किसी भी व्यक्ति को सून मीन्स बेहोश कर सकती है, अनकॉन्शियस कर सकती है, या स्लीपी बना सकती है। ब्रीथिंग लाइक वन दैट हैज़ ए वेरी ड्रीम, और ब्लोइंग जो एयर है, बहने वाली जो हवा है, वो इस प्रकार की सांसों जैसी आवाज़ बना रही है, जैसे कि वन दैट पर्सन, कोई भी ऐसा आदमी, हु हैज़ ए वेरी, जो बहुत थका हुआ है और थकान होकर के गहरी नींद में जिसे स्वप्न देखता है, तो उस समय जिस प्रकार जिसकी सांसें चलती है, उसी सांसों की तरह उस लेज़ी हवा इस प्रकार की आवाज़ कर रही है। पोइट अब हवा का वर्णन करने के बाद अब चंद्रमा का वर्णन करता है। फुल पैस एबो द वैली स्टूड द मून, और उस वैली के ऊपर, घाटी के ऊपर चंद्रमा स्थित है, जो फुल फॉर्म में, फुल आर्क में, पूर्ण स्वरूप में चमक रहा है। एंड लाइक ए डाउनवर्ड स्मोक द सिलेंडर स्ट्रीम, और थिन स्ट्रीम, एक पतला झरना, लाइक ए डाउनवर्ड स्मोक, जैसे कि धुआं का एक पतला झरना ऊपर से अलोंग द क्लिफ, पर्वत की चोटियों से, चट्टानों से गिरता, रुकता हुआ, फिर रुकता है, फिर बहता है, फिर रुकता है, फिर बहता है, इस प्रकार से नीचे की तरफ बह रहा है। नाउ वी कम्स ऑन सेकंड स्टेंजा of this poem. Poet has described about the lazy air and the shining moon that was shining in its full arc, and the smoky streams which are flowing from the along the cliffs, and it sometimes stops and sometimes starts to blow to flow. A land of stream in second stanza, it is also composed in Spencerian pattern, and there are 9 lines of each stanza as it is found in Spencerian stanza. A land of streams, some like a downward smoke. Slow dropping veil of thinnest lawn did go, a land of streams. Ulysses um, and his companions were standing on this island, and at this time, poet Tennyson describes that lazy and enchanting and fascinating atmosphere of this land. In the series of describing of the beauty of this land, the poet calls this land as the land of streams. इसको झरने झरने की ज़मीन या झरनों की भूमि कहता है. Some streams were like a downward smoke. Some streams were falling like smoky smoke. Slow dropping veil of thinnest lawn. When the some smoky streams were blowing from above part of the mountains downward, they were appearing like a slow dropping veil of thinnest lawn. They were looking like the स्लो ड्रॉपिंग धीरे धीरे गिरता हुआ वेल्स पर्दा ऑफ थिनेस्ट लॉन, पतली लॉन ग्रास, जैसे पतला हरा कपड़ा का पर्दा जैसे धीरे धीरे गिर रहा हो, इस प्रकार से कुछ झरने जो स्मोकी हैं वह धीरे धीरे नीचे की ओर बह रहे हैं, डिड गो, और इस तरह से वो नीचे की ओर पर्दे की तरह नीचे, जैसे थिएटर के अंदर होता है, थिएटर के अंदर जैसे पर्दा धीरे धीरे नीचे गिरता है, तो इस प्रकार से स्मोकी स्ट्रीम्स वर फॉलिंग देयर, एंड सम थ्रू wavering lights and shadowy brooks, and there were also blowing brooks means छोटे झरने, that or lights, wavering lights, they such brooks were flowing, and they were shining in the wavering light of the setting sun and shadows of the trees. So these brooks are also shining, and they were also shadowed, and they were flowing from above part, from the cliffs toward downwards. Rolling a slumberous sheet of foam below. Rolling, running, falling, a slumberous sheet of foam below. Some brooks were shining and shaded. They were running, they were blowing, they were flowing from cliffs toward below, and they were looking like a slumberous, drowsy sheet of foam. Slumberous means drowsy, sleepy, heavy sheet of foam. Foam means झाग का, जैसे कि एक भारी शीट की तरह ये झरने, ब्रोक, नाले ऊपर से नीचे की ओर गिर रहे हैं. They saw the gleaming river seaward flow. The Ulysses and his companions also saw the gleaming, shining river seaward flow, which was flowing toward the sea. From the inner land, and they also saw the shining river which was flowing toward the sea from the inner land, from the inner part of the land, and they also saw 4 of 3 mountain tops. They also saw 3 mountains tops, 3 mountains, and their top parts on this land, 3 silent pinnacles of as snow, and 3 silent pinnacles, peaks, and on the 3 on the 3 mountain tops there were 3 silent peaks, and these peaks were covered of snow, and it was appearing as if the snow was frozen for a long time. Yeah, had been frozen for a long time, so they were aged snow. So poet Tennyson called is aged snow means old snow was the these pineapples, these pinnacles, these peaks were silent, and the snow was frozen, froze over these peaks. So stood sunset flushed and dewed with showery drops, and sun was about to set, and it was also reddish because at the time of sunset, the sun turns into reddish color and it was standing silent and dewed with showery drops showery drops. It was the afternoon and the sun is about to set. So showery drops up clomb the shadowy pines, shadowy pine above the upcomb the shadowy pine above the oven copse. Upcomb the shadowy pine. There were the pine trees. They were shady, and their top part was climbing in the sky, and it was like the cone, and these shadowy pine trees were standing, and over there, upon their one the leaves of pine trees, showery drops were also falling, and above the one copse, one means made, copse means forest, small forest, and the pineapples and the pine trees were there. They made a small forest, and these pine trees were green and shady, and on their leaves there were the showery drops. So in this way poet describes the natural beauty of this land. Now I again explain you in Hindi. A land of stream, some like is downward smoke, a land of streams. पोइट टेनिसन इस ज़मीन को, इस लोटस जीटर्स के भूभाग को वह झरनों का प्रदेश कहता है, और लाइक ए डाउनवर्ड स्मोक स्लो ड्रॉपिंग वेल ऑफ थिनेस्ट लॉन, और ये झरने जो हैं वह स्मोक की तरह नीचे की ओर बह रहे हैं. स्लो ड्रॉपिंग वेल्स ऑफ थिनेस्ट लॉन, और ये जो बहते हुए स्मोकी झरने हैं वो इस प्रकार से नीचे गिर रहे हैं. स्लो मीन्स धीरे धीरे, ड्रॉपिंग गिरते हुए, वेल्स में पर्दे हों, ऑफ थिनेस्ट लॉन पतले कपड़े के धीरे धीरे गिरने वाले पर्दे के समान ये झरने नीचे गिर रहे हैं. एंड सम वेवरिंग लाइट्स एंड शेडोवी ब्रुक्स, झरनों के साथ साथ छोटे छोटे ब्रुक्स में नाले भी, जो सम ऑफ देम वेवरिंग लाइट्स, थ्रू वेवरिंग लाइट्स, कुछ झरने झिलमिलाती हुई सूर्य की रोशनी और शेडोज़ और छाया में वह नीचे की ओर रोलिंग, नीचे की तरफ लुढ़क रहे हैं, यानी कि वह नीचे की तरफ बह रहे हैं. ए स्लम्बरस सीट ऑफ फॉर्म बिलो, मानो कि ये एक स्लम्बरस में ड्रोजी हैवी सीट, चादर ऑफ फॉर्म, मानो कि झाग की एक भारी सीट नीचे की तरफ धीरे धीरे गिर रही हो. देसा द ग्लिमिंग रिवर सीवर्ड फ्लो, यूलिसस और उसके कंपेनियंस ने देसो, उन्होंने ये भी देखा, द ग्लिमिंग रिवर, चमकती हुई नदी, शाइनिंग रिवर, चमकती हुई नदी, जो सीवर्ड फ्लो विच वॉज फ्लोइंग टुवर्ड द सी, जो सी समुद्र की ओर बह रही हैं, फ्रॉम द इनर लैंड, जो ज़मीन के अंतर के भाग से में होती हुई और समुद्र की तरफ बह रही हैं. फार ऑफ द माउंटेन टॉप्स, और वह दूर से ही वह देखते हैं कि उस आइसलैंड पर चोटियां हैं, 3 पर्वतीय चोटियां हैं. उन तीनों पर्वतीय चोटियां, 3 साइलेंट, दे वर साइलेंट कम्प्लीटली, वह बिल्कुल साइलेंट है, और उनकी तीनों चोटियों पर, पिनेकल्स मीन्स चोटियों पर, स्नो बर्फ़ जमी हुई है, और ये बर्फ़ ऐसी लग रही है मानो कि एज्ड, मानो कि लंबे समय से ये पिघली न हो. स्टूड सनसेट फ्लस्ट, और सनसेट, सूर्य जो सूर्यास्त की तरफ जा रहा है वो मानो रुक सा गया है, वह ठहर सा गया है, और सारा वातावरण फ्लस्ड मीन्स रेडिश, लाल लीमा युक्त हो गया है. एंड ड्यूज विद सॉरी drops up from the shadowy pines above the Pavan copse. Dude with Soviet, there were also pine. Pine means a kind of trees, pine trees, which were shadowy, and they were their top part of their tree. These trees were climbing up in the sky. It means their top part were rising, growing toward the sky, and the leaves on over the leaves of upon the leaves on the leaves of these pine trees, the showy drops were falling, were falling, and in this way, above the one copse means a small forest, and there were also a small forest. Up, above these small forests, there were the pine trees, and the leaves of pine trees were filled with showery drops. और इस प्रकार से पाइन ट्रीज की जो घने पाइन ट्रीज है उनके पत्तों पर बारिश की बूंदें गिर रही हैं। इस प्रकार से कवि उसको वहाँ की ब्यूटीफुल सीनरी को हमारे सामने प्रकट कर रहा है। द पोइट wants to describe us the beauty of nature of the Iceland lotus eaters, and the drowsiness and weary and slumberous mood of this Iceland is highlighted by the poet, and these stanzas are composed in Spenserian stanza. As you know, dear students, Spenserian stanza has 9 lines, 9 lines, and last 9 line is also known as the Alexandrine. So, and the rhyming scheme, if we find rhyming scheme of these Spenserian stanza, to smoke, go, broke, below, flow, tops, snow, drops, copse. So smoke and broke means AB, floor tops BC, snowdrops BC, and C, copse. So we can say like this: the rhyming scheme of this Spenserian stanza is AB, BC, BC, SC. Now, I hope you will have understood. Yeah, you have understood this poem, and this is very imaginary poem, and the mood of this poem is drowsy and enchanting. So it is very beautiful poem. Thank you for listening to me. Thanks to all. Okay, bye.